And President Trump has said he wants the legislation passed by the 4th of July. But the so-called Big Beautiful Bill is prompting demonstrations across metro Atlanta. We were in Walton County as protesters urged Georgia representatives to vote against the legislation. Atlanta News First is bringing you team coverage as this legislation inches closer to President Trump's desk.
Well, we are live at 5 from Washington, but first, let's get to political reporter Doug Reardon here at home. Doug joins us from downtown Decatur. Doug?
Well, good evening, guys. Protesters took their message to over a dozen congressional field district offices here around the state today, urging both Republican and Democratic members of Georgia's House delegation to vote no now that it's their turn. In congressional districts all across Georgia Tuesday, constituents demonstrated against President Trump's spending bill.
We almost can't believe that they're talking about passing this bill. It's so cruel.
As Barb Burt with Indivisible Georgia was giving us an interview outside the office of her congressman, Republican Mike Collins, the U.S. Senate was voting to pass the bill she was protesting. It gave her an early jump on getting the message out to Collins and even some Democrats closer to Atlanta who will soon have the bill in front of them.
What I do hope is that his constituents will hear the stories that we've been telling today, and they will understand how important this bill is to their future and how much harm it will cause.
Collins tweeted moments after the Senate vote, saying Trump's spending bill would be good tax policy and good for Georgia's energy sector. Trump himself, in an online post, called it a, quote, major policy win for everyone. The bill prioritizes tax cuts that Trump wants to make permanent from his first term, but many Democrats and even some Republicans worry it will add trillions to the national debt.
Voting for this bill is betraying the state of Georgia.
Fresh off a close vote, Georgia Senator Jon Ossoff urged his colleagues in the House to vote no when it's their turn.
The Republicans in Georgia's U.S. House delegation face a very clear choice: partisanship and loyalty to the president, or loyalty to our constituents in Georgia.
Ossoff notes the bill by 2034 would kick 12 million Americans off health insurance through cuts to Medicaid and rollbacks to the Affordable Care Act. It also eliminates clean energy incentives that have driven state investments in electric vehicle and solar plants that resulted in hundreds of Georgia jobs. And on those clean energy incentives, we learned that just yesterday, 16 state lawmakers from here in Georgia sent a letter to Congress urging them not to get rid of those, saying that they create a lot of jobs, a lot of industry, especially in these rural districts. The latest version passed by the Senate did, in fact, get rid of those incentives that have brought, again, a lot of jobs and industry here to Georgia. We're in downtown Decatur. Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.